Hey guys, what's happening? I'm back again with another review, and let me just say that I'm trying to ramp up the quality level here. So what does that mean? Well, you tell me. Aside from the little additions here and there present during this review, if there's anything else you'd like to see discussed in general, let me know. Alright, so last time we took a look at the con exclusive Vegito Blue, and this time, well, we're taking a look at the con exclusive 2018 Broly Green. I'm just kidding, he's always green, or is he? Let's not forget that the OG Broly actually had hair more akin to his appearance during Broly's second coming. Anyways, let's get right into it, boys and girls, with the most recent release of my favorite Saiyan, Broly.
So, are you ready to die?
Alright folks, so in addition to Vegito Blue and Perfect Cell, we also have Broly making an appearance yet again as a con exclusive. Now, as big of a Broly fan as I am, my initial reaction to this coming out was like, again? And in all honesty, I went to the con with the intent of buying Goku Black. But seeing how as Goku Black was $110 and Broly here was $104, it seemed like Broly would offer the better return on investment. And maybe that's why he stole Goku Black's colorway for his box this time around. Alright, so real quick, let's get into a little scan through the box and all its artwork as well as the figure itself. Okay, so right from the get-go, I'd like to say that I am really pleased with this Broly. Personally, I think it has a previous SDCC Broly beat fists down, and I even think it crushes the original in most aspects, however not completely, and I'll get to which in a second. First off though, I think this is my favorite version of the paint apps for his head. The original version was just too yellow and was more akin to his appearance in Second Coming. And then I mean the previous SDCC version of him just looked like he got covered in slime because he was a contestant on Uh-Oh. Shout out to those of you who remember that from back in the day. One other thing that really sells his color choice this time around is how sharp it makes the facial features appear. On this Broly, it's really not hard to see the expressions depicted around the eyes and the mouth at all, which is in my opinion super important when you've got it under LEDs. And now, I've seen a couple of other reviews where people say that this is his most accurate appearance as how he appeared in movie 8. And while there is a lot of weight to that statement, his robes actually do fluctuate between the darker rose colored here and the lighter red color seen on the original. It really all just depended on what the animators were trying to go for in the lighting within the shot. Moving on to the robes though, I do absolutely dig the darker shade and darker color schemes that they went for on the robes here. The shading is darker, the overall color is darker, which I think just suits Broly's personality all that much better, and it almost gives it more of a regal look to him, even though he's not really Saiyan royalty, or is he? I'm also really digging the tinges of sand put into the darker gray on the cloth of the pants. I mean, this really makes it look like he's been around and battle damaged a little bit versus wearing that pristine bluish white shaded cloth that we saw in the original. And then down here they even got the right shade of burgundy red going on to match the burgundy red on the robes here as well. So points for consistency there. Now, as far as the gold and the blue gems go, I feel like it's very, very similar to that of the original. In fact, I'm almost positive it is the same blue. The gold, on the other hand, looks a little bit richer, but I don't really think it's all that too different from the original. Now, speaking of the original, let's get a comparison going on. Alright guys, so the biggest difference here is that this Brolys cost me like 58 bucks and this one cost me 104 bucks. Moving on. Alright, I'm just joking, but in all seriousness, I think the biggest difference to notice between the two Brolys here is that the original features a much more brighter, lighter colorway, where the newer one sports that darker scheme. Now, having said that though, I think the areas where the new 2018 Brolys has the original beat is the hair, the face, and the robes. Now, having said that, if you look closely here at the new Brolys, while I do love the whole darker tone of the color scheme that he sports, if you notice, there really is no shading present throughout the flesh in the body there, whereas the original actually has a plethora of it going on. Why they made that choice, I don't really know. However, it still works for the new 2018 Brolys. Now, just going back and addressing the golden gems again, I really believe they're relatively the same in color. Now, that's not a complaint, it's more so just an observation, as I think the gems work really well, even if they are the same color. And I mean, I think my favorite thing about this new Brolys is this face right here, this smirk. Not to say that the original was horrible, because it was not by any means, and upon first glance when I saw this at the con, I was like, did they change something about the face and the mouth? And on second glance here, they kind of did. If you can see, the bottom ridge of original Brolys' eyes here are straight, whereas this Brolys has that little indentation, that concaveness at the bottom eye there. In addition to that, the smirk is either just carved deeper into the faceplate or just toned darker, which makes it stand out all that more. Guys, all in all, in terms of the figure's likeness to his original appearance, I give this figure a solid 10 out of 10. Really, if this was the last Brolys to ever be released, I'd be happy with it. When I look at the figure, there is no mistake for who it is, nor is there some aspect of the appearance I'm unhappy with despite the lack of shading in the body. Great job on this figure. Alright, so in terms of the hands and faces, again, there's nothing new here, but I'll say again, the expressions on the faces are that much more clear. So much to the point that, again, when I first saw the smirk on Brolys, I was like, did they have this face on the original, or is there something that they changed and added about it? So again, great job there. Alright, now, so in terms of accessories, we still get the 3 trap shooter blasts that come with the original, as well as the big C clamp for when you attempt to hold Brolys. Now let's rephrase that, because one does not simply attempt to hold Brolys. One tries, but God be with you, because when he falls hard. Anyway, a lot of reviews simply state that the only difference between these effect parts and the original is that this one is a lighter shade of green than this one. And while that's true, here's a couple more differences for you. This one has some little bit of white shading in it. And in addition to that, another big difference here is that the original only has 1 peg hole per trap shooter blast. The new one actually has 4 peg holes that run all around the blast. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and there's the 4th one right there. Not a huge monumental difference, but it's still something to notice and worth noting in a review. And personally for me, I think that if we were to switch the blasts, it looks a lot better and matches up with the colorways more nicely. Now, you can probably get away with swapping both heads on these guys too, but seeing as how they don't come with extra heads, I'm not as inclined to be pulling off the heads on these figures, so you'll forgive me for that. Alright guys, so 2018's con exclusive Brolys. Did you get him? Will you be getting him? Did you pass? Personally, I'm so glad I picked this guy up instead of Goku Black for the prices Bluefin was charging. Despite already having a Brolys figure, this right here takes the cake of my new favorite. We'll just have to wait and see if 2019's Brolys takes that crown from him, but I'm pretty sure this Brolys here to stay. That's all I got for you guys on this one. Until the next time, you know what I always say. May the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows.